the average property price across all of our regions. Quite a good indicator of how the market in general is performing. We've seen the property prices are up 4.6% across Edinburgh, the Lothians, Fife and Scottish Borders. Does this mean that we're back in a competitive market, or is this just a response to inflation?
Yeah, now that's a really good question, because we don't often talk about inflation when we talk about house prices. You know, we've spoken about the basket before, which is, you know, what's a basket of goods? So it'll have bread in there, I think it'll have Mars bars in there at one point, didn't it? The Monetary Policy Committee look at that and look at what inflation's doing amongst that basket to dictate what they do with interest rates. And if you look at last year, you know, crudely we saw 3.2% inflationary figure. So for us to see 4.6% kind of feels it's in step with inflation. So your buying power is not quite as great as it was, because you've seen that growth. It sounds like property values have probably busted inflation a little bit, you know, at 4.6%, but it's not huge. So I think that's a really good point that you make. I think it is partially inflationary. I think the other thing which is maybe kept prices, if 4.6% can be seen as stable, is that we saw a increase in supply last year. At one point, there were 30% more properties available on ESPC.com than the previous year, so there was more choice for buyers. But as the year went on, those available properties were mopped up by buyers. So, you know, real growth in sales, 21.6% up in the last quarter. So a real busy run into the end of the year. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this year plays out. I don't think we'll see massively rise in house prices. I think we'll see we'll see another uptick. I think that's pretty sure. You know, we're seeing all the factors that would indicate that interest rates are coming down. You know, the debate between do you buy or do you rent. You know, there's a strong argument now as rates drop and affordability versus what you're paying on a rent, which is probably still going in the other direction. You know, maybe it's time to buy. So yeah, I think we'll see how the year plays out.